the reasons people that look at an iPad and go, wow, this is amazing, they want your applications to take those ideas and not just regurgitate what was on the web. Of course, you then have your marketing, and then bug fixes and feature requests. You know, once you've actually put your application out, people are going to have things that they've found about it. You can't just put it up and let it rot per se, any more than you would want any of your creative content to do that. So you do have, there's this sort of maintenance process that's kind of forgotten about. And so it kind of breaks down into those general categories. So then there's this kind of also this concept of a developer versus a programmer. And depending on what you're doing, you might need one or the other. So the kind of key takeaway here is that programmers need a roadmap of what they are building. If you say, okay, I want to tie in something with my short film that I built. I want some sort of tie-in application. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean like some sort of an interactive novella? Is it a game? Is there extra bonus video content? What, this is such a broad concept. Well, what are you talking about? Well, okay, I guess I like a game. Well, what kind of game? Do you want a role-playing game, a puzzle, an action, or choose your adventure? I guess I want a role-play game. Well, what style of role-play game? And should it be single or multiplayer? And what kind of art flavor should it have? Is it Eastern or Western? Oh, it's Eastern. Oh, well, do you mean East like New York? Do you mean East like Japan? So the things that seem sort of obvious to you because you understand your content so well have to be absolutely explicitly written out for a programmer. He will do exactly what you tell him to do, and I'm sure he'll do an awesome job at it, but he really needs to know, what are you trying to build? Exactly what are you trying to build? What are the delays between things? What size font should I use? The more you spell that out, the faster he can develop for you, and the more it will achieve your vision as well. If this is just an incredibly obtuse concept, if you really have no idea how to do all that, that's where a developer comes in. In my opinion, a developer is the one that kind of helps you make your roadmap, right? He's the one that sort of helps you walk through your process, your mental process, and says, okay, well, you have this kind of content, you have this kind of goal for your for potential readers of your, consumers of your content. I think maybe you should look in this direction for, to kind of leverage that idea, but also give people something that's kind of worth their 99 cents or maybe free application, but just for time, really. A roadmap will also tell you when you're done with the project. This is kind of overlooked in a lot of things. Now, what the sort of definition of done? When is the program done? A developer can help you build a roadmap so that you know the software achieves these 25 goals, therefore it is now done. So, we'll release it. As far as the programmer goes, the more details you give, the better. You can never give too much detail. And if you're expecting that you'll kind of go to a programmer and you're going to kind of get this sort of give and take back and forth of, well, I think I want to do this. Well, what do you think? Should I do this? Or what about this kind of game? Do you think that would be good? The more you kind of do that, don't be surprised when your final bill is very high, right? This is not a free service, right? This kind of, people will give you some time, of course, for, sort of a consultation, initial consultation. But if you're kind of expecting to sort of design it for you from scratch, that's what they want to be paid to do, right? That's their job. So not every programmer can help you with that. Some are just do exactly what they're told, and some people, like maybe me, will do development and programming. So we'll try to step you from beginning to App Store approval. So basically, what you're looking at here is that developer will do the top two things in green, requirements and design. The yellow parts will be the programmer, and the red is kind of up to what you want to do. Do you want to just create a piece of software, have it given to you, and then you'll take it from there, and it's all up to you, you'll do everything? That's fine. You can work that out with the person in the beginning. And so, of course, marketing will be your responsibility as well. Of course, there's also this idea of self-publishing. So the iPhone and the iPad have many different ways of consuming content. Now, building an application is not necessarily what you even need to do. When it comes to, say, like books, the iPad just released the iBookstore. There's Lulu and Smashwords and various other ebook publishers. This is the key thing for books, music, video. In order to get your content onto the iTunes store, Apple really wants you to work with what's called an Apple Certified Aggregator, which is basically just a publishing house. Right? Companies like Smashwords and so forth, though they are certified aggregators. They will take your content. They'll do the deal with Apple. They've already done the deal with Apple. And they'll act as your middleman. Apple wants that process. You cannot publish directly. Now, when it comes to something like Amazon's Kindle or the Nook, services are expensive, $100 to $150 an hour. You could be looking at a lot of hours if you have a very complex project in mind. Graphic art services at $50 to $75 an hour. That's just your development costs, right? Things can be done faster. Apple takes 30%. This is just for everything they do. 30%, 70% goes to the developer. If you're going through a third party, they'll take their cut. In this case, from Smashwords, your actual takeaway is 60%. So Smashwords will take a little chunk out of that. And that's fairly common. If it's not a flat rate, it's within. You could give a free application away, inside of which is a store for buying the next piece of content. So in the comic book world, they're doing this a lot. So this Comicalicious, I think it's called, builds this application for Marvel. The application's totally free, but what are you going to do with it without content? And they have all these nice little handy, buy it buttons all over the screen. So it will hang on to your content, it will serve it up, present it in a nice way. I've seen things where people will, say, put the first chapter of the book, and then you buy the rest if you like the first chapter. Keeping people inside that application space so that they don't have to ever leave and think about what they're going to do. Do I have to get out of this application, go to a web browser, make a purchase, download it to my system, sync to the phone, and then grab it? Do I need to go to Barnes & Noble and buy a physical copy? If you just give them that buy button, the more you can keep them wanting to spend money while they're in that mind space, the better. And in-app purchasing is a really good option for that, I think. And then with the new iPhone OS, Apple just introduced iAd. We're being really tight-lipped about it, but basically the idea is that Apple will, if you can get into an agreement with Apple so that they will show advertising, it's kind of not unobtrusive. Here they showed a little Toy Story 3, and this would sort of be at the bottom of the screen of your application. Then if somebody touches that, they never leave your application. It's still within your application. They're looking at basically just a big glorified web page. It's all HTML5 and JavaScript. And then once the person's done viewing the ads, they close it up and they're still exactly where they were inside your application. So there's a way that you can make some money through a deal with Apple, and they give you 60% of the revenue that they make off of the clicks of this. So you can give free content, but still make some sort of monetization off of it. And I tried to breeze through that for you, and that's me. That's my presentation. Website, if you'd like to talk about developing something for your own.
Custom carts or something like that. It's about custom cars, and he does like sort of hot chicks with these sort of souped up cars, and he's doing very, very well because there's thousands of people that are into these sort of monster car sort of mashups, and he really knows that audience. That's he lives and breathes that. He makes films for that thing. They're not about to win an Oscar, and he doesn't care. But he's making more money than I went out to get an Oscar. I didn't get the Oscar, I didn't get paid. So who's got the right idea? I don't know.
Yeah, I think you have to be able to find how your product is different or better compared to other things on the market.